Hearing a no from a woman can sting. I mean, you put yourself out there by asking her out, suggesting an idea, or making some kind of request, right? I get it. Your self-esteem maybe is taking a hit because she refused. You've probably spent a lot of time thinking about your proposal, working up the courage to ask, or preparing for that particular moment, and now it feels like all your effort was wasted. Hey, what's worse? If a couple of your bros knew you were rejected, you could risk being the butt of their jokes for a while. But no worries, I've got good news for you. That no you received was a blessing because you found this video, and I'm going to show you some tricks that will have your woman or girl you like saying yes more often than she'll like to. So keep watching. Jessica OS here, welcome to the channel. So over the next few minutes, I'll be giving you a crash course on the art of persuasion. Persuasion is all about convincing someone to see things your way, whether it's about changing their mind, adopting a new behavior, or embracing a new idea. It's not about tricking or forcing someone, but rather guiding them to a new perspective through good communication. Persuasion is a super powerful thing you need to have on your fingertips if you're going to convert her no's into yeses. Let's dive in. Now, the first thing you want to do is to leverage reciprocity. Now, reciprocity is the idea that when someone does something nice for you, you feel like you want to do something nice for them in return. It's like an unwritten rule that helps people get along and build good relationships. So imagine you're always the one who drops her off at work whenever she's having car trouble. If you ever have car trouble in the future, she will be more likely to return that favor without you having to really ask. That's reciprocity in action. Once again, if a friend invites you to their party, there's an obligation of some sort for you to invite them to a future party that you're hosting. If a colleague does you a favor, then you owe that colleague a favor as well. You see, when people do kind things for each other, it creates a cycle of goodwill. Everyone benefits and feels good about the relationship. And over time, it will also strengthen the bond that you have. When you know she'll feel obligated to return your kindness because you've been so good to her, you'll hardly ever get a no from her. Guys, if you don't take anything at all from this pointer, this is what I want you to remember. People are more likely to say yes to people that they feel they owe something to because basically that's how society expects us to act. And the key to acing this thing is to make sure that you're always the first to give and to ensure that what you're giving out is personalized and unexpected, okay? Don't ever forget that. Leverage that thought. The second thing you want to do is to be scarce. Guys, don't be too driven by your love or affection for her so much so that you become a constant feature in her life. Listen to me when I tell you this because I know that it's tempting to do that. Human beings tend to value and desire things that are limited or hard to get. So make sure that you're using that to your advantage. Get this, if you're always available, it might come off as too eager or desperate. So make sure you're creating the impression, even if it's not the case, that you're busy and you have your own life. It's poignant because when you do this, you will create that sense of scarcity around your time and attention. And that's what you want. Don't always drop everything to be with her. That way she'll appreciate it more when you spend time together. Let her see that you're a different kind of guy. That way she'll be more likely to value and pursue a relationship with you. And if and when you get an opportunity to spend time with her, plan unique dates or experiences that are out of the ordinary. Whether it's a spontaneous weekend trip, a special dinner, or a fun adventure, these are rare moments that will make her want more. Now, the scarcity principle in relationships basically is about making yourself a valued and limited resource. Remember, it's not about playing games, but about valuing yourself and your time. Let's move on to number 3. Have authority. So it's all about the idea that people are more likely to follow the lead of someone they see as credible and knowledgeable, such that when you suggest she does something, you'll more often get a yes than a no. Let's think about this a bit more. Think about physiotherapists, for instance. They're more successful in getting patients to follow exercise routines if they have their medical diplomas displaced on their office wall. Or imagine someone asking you for change to buy something while they're wearing a uniform of some sort. Tell me that you won't be more inclined to give it to them than, say, someone who approached you wearing casual clothing. The uniform usually will signal authority and credibility. Now, how does it apply to your love life, you may be asking? Simple. It's about showing that you're confident, you're knowledgeable, you're reliable. Here's a trick. You don't need to go around bragging about how great you are. Instead, let your actions show. Just like those diplomas on the wall, your confidence in yourself can be incredibly persuasive. When you believe in yourself, others are more likely to believe in you too. What you want to do is to share your knowledge and insights in a way that's natural and not boastful. Whether it's about your job, a hobby, or something you're passionate about, showing that you're knowledgeable can make you more attractive. Or you can let others just speak to your strengths. Let your friends or mutual acquaintances talk about what a great, amazing human you are. And while they're at it, ensure that your actions are showing that credibility. Being reliable, keeping promises, demonstrating your skills and talents in everyday situations will signal your authority, right? Let's say you're a good cook. Instead of bragging, just invite her over, whip up a fantastic meal. Let her see your expertise in action. When you project confidence and let your skills and knowledge shine through in subtle ways, it makes you more attractive and trustworthy. She'll be more inclined to follow your lead, trust your decisions, and see you as someone worth investing time in. Remember, the principle of authority in romantic relationships is about showing and not telling. It's all about the idea that women and people are more likely to follow the lead of someone they see as credible and knowledgeable in a subject or thing. When you consistently suggest that she does something, you're more likely to get a yes if you project authority. Let's move on to the fourth thing, and I say ace consistency. How? So people love to stay consistent with things they've previously said or done. It's just how we're wired. Consistency kicks in when you start with small, easy commitments. So you want to begin by asking for small, simple favors or agreements. This could be something as minor as picking out a restaurant or a date or choosing a movie to watch together. These small yeses will build that pattern of consistency. Now, once she's made a few small commitments, she's likely to agree to bigger ones. It's like a snowball effect, right? Start small and gradually ask for more significant things, like planning a weekend trip together. The key is to get her to make those commitments in a way that feels public and voluntary. So for example, when she agrees to try a new hobby with you, talk about it with friends or put it on social media like,
hey, I got this person to try skydiving.
For example. Public commitments reinforce the desire to stay consistent, right? People can see and read that, and she wouldn't want to be the one who chickened out. Also, encourage her to take an active role. When she's involved in like the planning, decision making and stuff like that, she's more likely to stay committed because it'll feel like it's her own choice, right? So when you use that principle of consistency, you're tapping into that natural human tendency that we all have. People don't want to feel inconsistent. So when you start with those small commitments, it makes it easier to get those bigger yeses later. It's all about building that pattern of trust and agreement, making her more likely to follow your lead and invest in the relationship as much as you want her to. Number 5, leverage liking. I'll explain. So people prefer to say yes to people they like. But what makes us like someone? There are 3 things: similarity, compliments, and cooperation towards the same goals. Let me explain. We naturally gravitate towards people who are similar to us, right? Example, if you both love movies, you want to suggest going on a movie date. Talk about your favorite movies, share your past experiences and past movies you love, stuff like that, okay? Genuine compliments make people feel good and more connected to you. So when you pay someone a sincere compliment, it boosts their self-esteem and makes them more likely to say yes to your requests. So if you compliment her on her taste in music or the way she handled a challenging situation, your compliment, if executed correctly, will feel genuine and heartfelt and will most likely allow her to say yes to you in the future. And cooperation, or working together towards a common goal, will build that sense of partnership. So you want to plan a fun project together, an activity, like cooking a meal or planning a small trip. Cooperating on activities like that will strengthen that bond, make her more likely to agree to a future suggestion, okay? And finally, you want to have something called social proof. So social proof is the idea that people, especially when they're uncertain, look to the actions and behaviors of others to guide their own actions, right? In romantic relationships, social proof can be incredibly powerful. Now, here's how you can use this to your advantage. If you want her to, for instance, join you in a new activity or habit, mention how many of your friends or people she respects are already doing it. So, for example, you could say,
hey, you know, a lot of our friends have started singing karaoke on Fridays, and it looks like they're having a blast. We should try it sometime.
Or you can remind her of how your mutual friends took a trip to, I don't know, the mountains and how they couldn't stop raving about it. And then you can conclude by saying,
We should totally plan something like that.
social proof works because it taps into our natural desire to conform and fit in basically with others, especially those we admire or see as similar to ourselves. When she sees that others are doing something and enjoying it, she's more likely to feel comfortable and confident in trying it herself. Okay. Using the principle of social proof when it comes to women will help you influence decisions in very subtle and effective ways. Let's wrap up. So let's say after practicing all this, you still get a no. Hey, what can I say? Don't take it personally. Remember, a no isn't a reflection of your worth. It might just be a matter of timing, circumstances, or personal preferences. If appropriate, ask for feedback. Understanding the reason why she said no will provide valuable insights for you and help you improve. And keep a positive mindset, because rejection is a part of life, and each no brings you closer to a yes. Thank you so much for watching. Jessica OS here. Later.